We need to know the anatomical directional terms. The anatomical position is a standardized posture used as a universal reference point for describing the human body's structures and locations. In this position, the body is standing upright, facing forward, with arms at the sides, palms facing forward, fingers extended, thumbs away and feet separated and toes point forward. I just think it as I am doing the airport security checkup when you have to walk the security, only the difference hands are not up. In anatomical position, arms are at the side, palms facing forward. Anatomical terms are crucial for quick, clear, and accurate communication in healthcare, providing a universal, unambiguous language for body structures and locations. We have to know those terms to understand the precise location of body and treatment. Example: you have a posterior shoulder strain. The strain is on the back of the shoulder. Or, you have a distal radius fracture. The break is near the wrist, far from the elbow. Or, it is a lateral ankle sprain. The injury is on the outside of the ankle. In anatomical terminology, you always use the patient or subject as the model to determine the location and treatment. Superior refers to a structure being closer to the head or upper part of the body. I remember superior is like Superman and it can fly high. The opposite is inferior. Superior is above or towards the head. Superior, cranial, and cephalic are largely synonymous in human anatomy. When describing structures relative to the skull, while superior is a broader term for above. Think of them as a set of directional terms: superior, inferior, above, below, and cranial, caudal, head, tail. There has to be two parts to compare. Like head is superior to your neck, or the heart is superior to the stomach. Head is superior to the neck. The head is higher up than the neck. Nose is superior to the mouth. The nose is above the mouth. Eyes are superior to the chin. The eyes are higher on the face. Shoulders are superior to the hips. The shoulders are higher on the torso. Chest is superior to the abdomen. The chest sits above the belly. Inferior refers to a structure being closer to the feet or lower part of the body. Example: feet are inferior to the knees, or stomach is inferior to the heart. Caudal means towards the tail, coccyx, lower spine. Inferior means below or lower. The chin is inferior to the mouth. The neck is inferior to the head. The stomach is inferior to the heart. The knees are inferior to the waist. The feet are inferior to the knees. The belly button, umbilicus, is inferior to the chest. Proximal means closer to the body's center or point of attachment, like the shoulder. The shoulder is proximal to the body because proximal means closer to the center of the body, or the point of attachment. What is center of the body? The center of the body in anatomical terms refers to the axial skeleton, head, neck, trunk, or the midline, with the torso, trunk being the central mass from which limbs extend, and directional terms like medial, toward the midline, and proximal, closer to the center, trunk, describing locations relative to this core. What is point of attachment? The point of attachment of a body part, like a limb, to the main body is described using proximal, meaning closer to the trunk or attachment point. Elbow is proximal to wrist. And distal, meaning farther away. Wrist is distal to elbow. I remember this like pro. Pro is always extra skills, as proximal always closer, while distal means farther away from the center, or attachment like the fingers are distal. I remember distal as a delay, so its delay is later than normal. Distal means away from the point of attachment or the midline or center of the body. Examples: fingers are distal to the wrist, elbow, and shoulder. Arm: your fingers are distal to your wrist, and your wrist is distal to your elbow. Leg: your toes are distal to your ankle, and your ankle is distal to your knee. Hand: the thumb is distal to the wrist. Superficial means closer to the body's surface. Skin: the skin, epidermis, is the most superficial layer, sitting above deeper tissues. Muscles: the deltoid muscle, shoulder, or the muscles on the front of your forearm are superficial to bones and deeper muscles. Bones: the skull is superficial to the brain. The ribs are superficial to the lungs. While deep means farther away from the surface, towards the interior, acting as relative depth descriptions for structures like skin, muscles, and so on. Your skin is superficial to your muscles. Deep, away from the surface, away from the body's surface, more internal. Your bones, like the femur in your thigh, are deep to your muscles and skin. The heart is a deep organ, protected by the ribs and chest wall. The brain is deep inside the protective skull. Visceral refers to the layer covering an internal organ, like the heart or lungs, while parietal refers to the layer lining the body cavity wall. The space between them holds lubricating fluid, with the visceral layer being closer to the organ and the parietal layer being further away, towards the body wall. Pericardium, heart. Visceral pericardium covers the heart, parietal pericardium lines the sac around the heart. Pleura, lungs. Visceral pleura covers the lungs, parietal pleura lines the chest wall. Peritoneum, abdominal organs. Visceral peritoneum wraps organs, parietal peritoneum lines the abdominal wall. Ipsilateral means the same side, left arm and left leg. Contralateral means the opposite side, left brain controlling the right arm. And bilateral means both sides of the body. These terms describe the location of structures or actions relative to the body's midline, with ipsilateral focusing on one side, contralateral on the other, and bilateral on both sides.